What's up? Good morning, Heathens. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Now, I know it's supposed to be Sunday school for Heathens, but yesterday was a little whatever. But it's Monday. It's a so-called holiday according to the peoples, the government peoples. So y'all got a little time to sit and listen. So listen, on this particular video, because I had another video that I was planning to do. Yesterday I was going to do the video about how hoodoo and traditional African religions are incorporated into Black Christianity. It's why Black Christianity looks the way that it looks today, right? But then I saw a post by a dope ass female creator on TikTok by the name of OG. Now I follow OG anyway. I've been a follower of her since her first video. First of all, the gold slugs at the bottom told me everything I needed to know. This a real mom. Okay, so she definitely kicking some real shit. But she did a video that said Black History Month is a spell. So when I first saw the video, I saved it, but I didn't get a chance to go back and actually watch it. And I was having a conversation with my sister the other day, and I said we were talking about Black History Month in the series that I'm currently doing, because I'm going to incorporate some Black history into it, a lot of Black history into this Sunday School for Heathens. But we were talking, and I said, as we were talking, and we were talking about Black History Month, and as I was working through it in my head in real time, I said, damn it, she's absolutely right that Black History Month is an active spell on the Black peoples. So last night I went back and I watched her video where she explains why Black History Month is a spell. And what she talks about is the Black History Month as language spell work when we talking about history versus heritage. And she pointed out that there's only two groups of people who celebrate their history versus their heritage, because history speaks of the past. Heritage incorporates the past and also leaves room for the future. History stops at history. So she beautifully broke down the language of the spell work and how it keeps Black people in a spell, right? I wanted to take it a step further and approach it from a spell aspect of stagnation. Black History Month. Here it is. My declaration. My POV is that Black History Month is a spell of stagnation, a spell of limitation, a spell of erasure, and a spell of manipulation. It leads Black people to believe that we are fixed and minute. Okay? And I'm going to break that down. And then I'm going to show you how root work can reverse the spell of Black History Month for Black people, right? So let's look at it. So what is a spell? All right. A spell is, you know what? Let's go. On one of my videos, I gave y'all the actual definition, but let's do it again. Spell. Definition of spell, so that we are 100% clear. Definition of spell. All right. Spell. Here it is. Okay. Spell, a form of words used as a magical charm or incantation. An example, a spell is laid on the door to prevent injury. A spell can also be a state of enchantment caused by a magical spell. Okay, so a spell can be a spell is a noun. Okay, for y'all to come up, what's a noun? A person, a place, a thing, or an idea. I'm taking you back to middle school. I hope y'all was paying attention, okay? A spell is also an ability to control or influence people as though one had magical power over them. That is the definition of spell. So how do we take that and translate Black History Month into a spell over Black people? So Black History Month is often presented in schools because that's what we first hear. That's what we first learn about it. They've been recycling the same niggas since I was in elementary school. My niece brought home her Black History assignment the other day, and the notable nigga was the Temptations. The Temptations been dead. My niece is 9. What the fuck? Okay. We gonna keep it. I'm not gonna get on them. I'm not gonna get on it. But okay. Black History Month is presented in schools and in mainstream culture. It's presented as the crux of who we are as a people, right? But the presentation in the school, and you gotta ask yourself why they put it in the school. Why is it a part of the curriculum, a part of the programming? First of all, we have to talk about the United States education system as a whole and what it was actually put in place for, but we don't have time for that today. We're gonna stick to the script, okay? It's a reason why they target the children. It's a reason why they program history into the children. You catch them early. Program the mind early, limit the mind early, enchant the mind early, dampen the senses early, dampen the intuition, silence the intuition early. Snow over the genetic memory early. By teaching them about some notable niggas. All right. So in Black History Month, the spell looks like a repeated ritual that looks like honoring Black people. One of my favorite movies is The Perfect Stranger with Bruce Willis and Halle Berry. In the scene where they are exploring the tension between them, there's a scene where he says, once you learn to feign sincerity, everything else comes easy. And I fear that that is how we as Black people keep getting caught. Because there is so much feigning of sincerity, because we are a genuinely sincere people as a collective and also as individuals. The feigning of sincerity is what gets us every time. When they make us believe that they can, because we want so bad to believe that everyone is like us, that everyone feels that love and that compassion and that sympathy and that empathy and that understanding. Everyone feels that collective connection. Once you understand that they don't feel what we feel, they didn't even consider you human. You got to start seeing people for the reality and the humanity. Okay? So this repeated ritual, this spell looks like it's honoring Black people, but it actually is quietly containing Black history into something that is perceived as safer. It's a spell of domestication. Okay? The spell is, first of all, it's 1 month only. They limit it to 1 month, and OG does a beautiful job at explaining the numerology, the symbol, is it symbology? Lord, is it the symbolism? Okay, the symbolism behind. Oh my my glasses crooked. Yep, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me fix my glasses. I'll be back. Hold on. All right, we got the glasses. I'm sorry. It was irking my nerves. Okay. So OG does a beautiful job at breaking down the symbolism around the amount of days in the month and all of that. So make sure y'all go find that video. The spell is also one of simplified heroes, the notable niggas. George Washington Carver, Mary McLeod Bethune. What was his name? Daniel. What was the first one who did the open heart surgery? Daniel something. I can't remember. I think it started with an H. Hale. That Dr. Hale. Mae Jemison. First astronaut. First black woman. And you see what I'm saying? All of the notable niggas. And no diss or disrespect to the legends. Shout out to the legends. But that's not where we started. Okay? They make it seem as if there are only a select few that can come out of us. The exceptional niggas. Shout out to Django. Y'all need to go back and watch that movie with opened eyes. I just watched the interview with Michelle Obama and her brother. They did a podcast interview, and they said that one of the best things that their parents taught them was that they are not special. And let me say this, because when I first heard it, I was like, But then when they explained it, she said their parents always let them understand that there were thousands of Michelle Obamas. There were thousands of Craig Robinsons. Well, Michelle Robinson and Craig Robinson. That's her maiden name. But it's just everyone didn't have the same opportunity. Basically, like we know, it's niggas in the hood hooping way harder than LeBron. But he'll never see an NBA court. It's a chick at the Family Dollar that could blow Beyonce ass out the water. She'll never see a mic, though. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of talent, ability, and skill with us. It is a matter of opportunity with us. They know we are great, which is why they limited. The spell is a spell of limitation to make you believe that you are not the best. Okay? Digestible stories. That's the spell. Okay? This is what the spell looks like. Approved archetypes. Athletes, thinkers, a few of them. Y'all could do a little something. Musicians. It's all of the ones it's your favorite celebrities, the notable niggas. Okay? And celebration without disruption. Do it quietly. You guys have 28 days. Hurry up. Let's get this shit over with. Okay? It's history that does not threaten the system. It's history that does not threaten the spell. Okay? We can talk about patriarchy. We can talk about capitalism. We can talk about sexism. We can talk about racism. We can talk about classism. We can talk about all of that. But at the end of the day, none of the isms exist. The isms are the technical manifestations of the spiritual and the energetic manipulation and magic that goes on behind the scenes. Once you understand that the 3D, what actually manifests here is the simplest and lowest form of everything that is actually happening, you'll take your eyes off of it and you'll understand that this is bigger. You don't keep millions of people, of a people. You don't keep an entire population of a people oppressed with laws. That is done with energy. You understand me? All right. Now, how the spell works. This month becomes a stage where identity is filtered into familiar roles. So basically, Black History Month it can be compared to the spell of communion. Once a month, they put you under the spell where you drink the blood and you eat the flesh in order to make sure that you stay under the spell. Spells are reinforced by rituals and practices. So the celebration, the spell work, the ritualization of Black History Month is once a year. We lay down the spell of limitation. We lay down the spell of stagnation, where we limit the mindset, and we do it with the children once a year. So every year, because they know how many black babies are being born, they know how many black babies being filtered through the system. You see what I'm saying? So once a year, we know we got the indoctrination going. We got the social conditioning going. The spell work, the manipulation is being laid down. It's root work. It's root. There's a root that has been laid on black people as a collective. The destiny swap. Think about it. Everywhere we go, everywhere you look, any country, you trace back the indigenous peoples of that country, of that region. Look for the first one that was there, and they look like us because we started this shit. And then ask yourself why in every region of the world, the closer you are to black, the either you're gonna be met with one or two things: complete disdain, hatred and resentment, or complete admiration. It's a reason why. You never thought about that? You go to some countries and they see a black woman and they go into a state of awe, reverence, and worship. And then you go into another country and they see a black woman or a black man and they go into a state of extreme hatred. Because we hate what we fear. They hate what they fear. And they fear us. And this is not about, because I know, it'll be people who get on here and say that I'm racist. But, listen, it is what it is, baby. Everybody racist. If you within a race, you racist. That's just the bottom line. Because to me, I think racism is necessary. If you don't look over at yours and think, for us, racism is necessary. I don't care what nobody's saying. I don't care. I don't like it. It is what it is. There is no such thing as reverse racism, because there's only one racism, and that's against us. Because if you got to think about it, we are completely separate species. We are completely everything about it supports it. Our bodies are different. Our minds are different. Our resilience is different. We different. So for us as a race, we need to be racist. But that's another conversation for another day. And I know some of y'all gonna get your panties in a bunch, but remember, I'm not responsible for your emotional intelligence. If you can't look past your feelings, if you can't look past the filter of the emotions that you have when I say what I say, baby, this ain't the spot for you. Okay. Anyway, so the month becomes a stage where black identity is filtered through familiar roles: the musician, the athlete, the entertainer, the inventor who overcame. Because there's always the niggas who can overcome, right? They the ones who get the notoriety, the ones who could jump the biggest hurdles that we put in place for you. That's what the Olympics is about. We in the Olympics every day. Damn, what is it, every 4 years, I don't watch the Olympics, so I don't even know how often they come, but niggas is in the Olympics every day, jumping hurdles. Why the hell you? Hell yeah, we could flip. We could flip, turn, do the double rotator twist. Listen, we could do all of it. Because we jump these motherfucking hurdles they done put in place with us every day. We flipping, diving, running. You goddamn right we gonna place goal every time. It's a daily practice. But anyway, the other archetypes: the laborer and the civil rights martyr. The civil rights martyr. They make you a martyr after they murk your ass. Okay, come on now. All of these roles are important, but they are not complete. They are not comprehensive, and they don't even begin to scrape the surface of who we are at our core. What you see now The way that black people are portrayed now, it's not who we are. It is the result of the believing of condition. It's the result of the spell work, but the spell is being broken and you're watching it happen in real time. Shout out to the age of Aquarius, babe. The truth is coming to the light. You can look, you see it. You see it, baby. We out here thriving. They are coming apart at the seams, and we are good. There are some who are buying into the propaganda, who are buying into the sensationalism, what else you got? The amplification of the negative and all that. And I hate to see my fellow brothers and sisters, buying into that shit, because that shit don't apply to you. It don't apply to you. I'm sorry, that's not your reality. You should not be coming apart at the same. This they shit. This is their shit that's falling apart. What you should be doing right now, if you shall know, is working on you and your family and planning for the next. Because listen, we up. You listen to me. We up. Do you hear me? We on deck. We on deck. People get ready. There's a train coming. Come on, baby. And I don't even know the song. It just dropped in my spirit. That's how I know it's a channel song. Let's go. All right. The problem with the archetypes, the narrowing the archetypes of black people, is who gets left out. They completely erase our history of royalty and governance, of black intellectual traditions that predate slavery. You did not start there. That is not where we start. Baby, we were kings, scholars, everything. Listen, I know they said, what's that boy, Tariq Nasheed, that he done got in some shit again. They say he done stole y'all money and dipped, huh? Something like that. But anyway, listen. Any man who talks, I told you, a talking ass nigga, I don't care where he at, you gotta pay attention to a talking ass nigga. But anyway, his series, Hidden Colors, irregardless of who Nasheed is on the, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to say about it. I don't pay no attention to that shit. But listen, what I will say, the series Hidden Colors, that needs to be a family affair. That needs to be a family screening event. A community screening event. Ooh. I think I'm finna do it. Come on, Crown Lowe's. Shout out to Mama T. Because we need to know that that's not where we start. Okay? Science and scholars outside of Western validation. Listen, it overcooks my grits so bad. The fact that y'all will discredit your own people, your own practices, your own rituals, your own sciences, your own medicine. You will discredit it because it don't have a Western seal of approval on it. And I don't like that, but we ain't gonna stay there either. It leaves out our revolutionaries, our mystics, come on, we are a people of magic. We are a people of conjure. We are a people of source, of spirit. We are to be black is to be God. To be black and female is God. But to be black is to be like God, to be of God. Builders of nations. We had civilizations, y'all. Why you think they was messing with Black Wall Street and all that? We come from, of course we were, because they leave that part out of Black history. About how we were thriving as a people. Irregardless of Jim Crow and redlining and all of the other policies and things that were put in place to keep us down, we always are a people who thrive because we were a people of civilization. We were a people who established nations. So a neighborhood ain't nothing for us to do. Why you think they make it so hard for us to buy land? They know that's all we need. Put a little dirt in our hand and watch what happens. Give us our stuff and watch what we do with it. Why you think they work so hard to keep you from your shit? The wealth transfer is not about class. Oh, come on, we getting too deep now. The continuity of African greatness, not just survival. And when we say Africa, listen, I don't buy into the FBA versus diaspora. Right? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because at the end of the day, we forgetting the big picture. Like we for real forgetting the big picture. We for real forgetting the big picture. And again, the division is what keeps us distracted. The dissension is what keeps them developing. So I need for y'all to know that. I need for y'all to pay attention to that. But when we talk about Africa, that's Egypt, that's all that. Listen, they manipulated the maps, y'all. They manipulated the maps. That's how deep this shit goes. That's how deep the spell work is. When we talking spell, if you have ever worked roots, if you have ever thrown a spell, if you have ever thrown some work, you know it is a system. It is all encompassing, depending on how big the work is that you're trying to throw, depending on how big the spell is that you're trying to cast, depending on how solid the root is that you're trying to fix. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everything has to reinforce the spell. Everything has to reinforce the spell. So the manipulation of even knowing where you're actually living, what is actually what, all of that reinforces the spell work. So instead of we come from empires, it becomes we overcame oppression. That's the limitation. That's the spell. What my mother knows that. That is the spell of erasure and manipulation. Erase where you came from. You didn't start from oppression. We started from greatness, and to greatness we shall return. That's why everything is looking the way that it's looking. What a time to be alive. Anyway, that is a psychological shift. It is psychological manipulation. Okay? The containment effect. Black History Month can unintentionally. No. Hold on. Let me fix my notes. The spell of Black History Month can cause people to believe that Black history begins with slavery. Black excellence is exceptional and not normal. We are not the exception. We are the rule. They are the exception. And the Olympics and stuff gonna show it every time. Put us in a competition with them and we're gonna show you every time that we are the rule. You're the exception. We were always gonna be here. We could always be here. You just skew the avenues. You manipulate the opportunities. But we can always, it's nothing for us to get to the Olympics. Access is everything. But that's why we show every time. We are the rule, y'all are the exception. Anyway, Africa is a backdrop, not a source of civilization. Black achievement is mostly cultural, music, sports, like I said. Blackness is something to celebrate briefly and not integrate fully. That is the spell work. That's not remembrance. It's compartmentalization. Again, the spell work of minimization. And then we talk about how they play with us. Black History Month is like a mojo bag, but nothing inside of it. It's just an empty bag. Nice little bag on the outside. It looks spiritual. It looks sincere. It looks symbolic, but it has no real power because the root, here we go, the root, which is the power, has been removed. If you strip out indigenous origins, global influence, intellectual legacy, and spiritual depth, if you strip all that out, there is no Black history in it. That's just some shit that you came up with. Because to be Black, to understand Black history is to understand that, again, We are gods. Ye are gods. The closest incarnation to the divine intelligence that supports the all. Neuromelanin and melanin is a thing. You should start reading about it. It is what lets you know how close you are to the divine. But nevertheless, we're going to come on back. The real root work of liberation. So here we go. How do we reverse the spell? By laying down a root. Everything has energy. Everything has a root. Shout out to the Queen Poe. In energy, root work is the changing and it's the transferring and the transmuting of said energy. That's what root work is, right? So how do we reverse the spell of Black history? We lay down the root of Black excellence. We lay down the root of Black remembrance. We lay down that Africa is taught as world history. Okay? Egypt. Africa is Egypt, and Egypt is Africa. We talk about the real beginnings. We lay down the root of remembrance. We lay down the root of recollection. We lay down the root of rising up in each other. That core greatness, because it's just been dampened. It's just been put to sleep. Black scientists and Black mathematicians become normalized. Hidden Figures with Taraji. I ain't watched that one either. I guess I need to watch, but see, I don't like to watch those things because we know what it is. We know who's solving this shit. Listen, if you don't know by now that behind every great thought process or development, invention, in industry, if you don't know that it's a Black person at the core of that, some kind of way, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's been proven more than enough times. Diasporic knowledge, it should be honored beyond trauma. Beyond trauma. These babies need to know that they didn't come from sharecroppers and slaves and all like that. Again, that's not where we start. Black children should be seeing themselves as heirs, not exceptions. All of the boys in the hood, the drafts and all of that, the NBA, the NFL, you know, all of the ways to pick out the exceptional niggas, the notable niggas. That spell work. The root work is restoring the root of greatness so that Black people can stand upright. Yes, our history should be acknowledged. Our history should be celebrated. Our history should be broadcasted. But not that shit that they telling us. I'm talking about our real history. Our historians, the people who are the young folks that are working to collect the stories of the elders and stuff before they pass away. Listen, we're going through a paradigm, generational collective shift as Black people. We are losing a lot of our elders. And the ones who are supposed to be elders now with the stories and the wisdom have been so denigrated and so beaten down by society that they barely have the strength to share their stories anymore. They don't have they beat the resilience out of us. And now we have to restore it. And that is the root work. And I'm proud to call myself your favorite root work. Because this has nothing, it's not just about the herbs that I mix together to heal your body. From sisterroots.com. Shameless plug, but I love y'all. It's also about the roots that I lay down to help you remember who you are. To help Black women, the gods of this world, restore themselves to their rightful positions. And the Black men who want to claim their rightful place beside the Black woman as her helpmate, But we ain't got to talk about that today because I know y'all gonna want to fight, and I'm trying to keep it where it is. I'm proud to be your favorite root worker and help reverse the spell of Black history. Black history should be celebrated and integrated into beautiful Black heritage. I love y'all deep. Have a good one.